hello, hello. Okay, delayed start. But that's okay. I also don't need this on my butt. There we go. How has everybody been? Alright, Nicole, that's cool. We shall be here. Currently reading in the car while my son has swimming lessons. Nice. Hi. You know, every time you do that, you knock into my stuff. I'm just saying. Anyways. I'm ready to start reading. I'm tired. Yeah, it's more like a hi bye Xena. She was so quick. Starting this behemoth. I don't know how many books are in here. This is a companion novella for Red Queen. Let's see. I got... Do I have... Okay, wait. Hang on, is this like her notes? Oh, no, that's... Okay. Alright, well, I don't know if there is a table of contents. So... I don't know how many books or stuff are... Oh, here we are. Nope, that's not it. Alright, I'm just gonna find out how many little books and notes are in here, because I don't know. Currently, I have no idea. But who else is ready to start? Finished just for the summer tonight. I got so excited when I see make it more enjoyable to read after work. Aw, I'm glad, Murphy. I'm glad we could provide that and bring that forward. Aw, thanks for the little kitty cat. Yeah, I'm usually on until about 10 p.m. Central. Around, as close as we can get to that time is when I usually pop off. So we got a good 3 hours. Not bad. Normally I get on a little earlier, but I was delayed. So, alright. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. You guys got 1 minute to grab your books and drinks and cats and chairs. Books, drinks, cats, chairs. What else do you need in life? Food. Snacks. Finished Murtag last night and finally started Onyx Storm tonight. Nice, Lex! Struggling from allergies. That was me yesterday. That was definitely me yesterday. And Lex, I didn't realize you were doing Murtag before Onyx Storm. So just a heads up, Onyx Storm jumps right into it and she assumes that you remember everything. So there's that. Did I bring up my tabs? Are these the right ones? These are the right ones. Are these the right ones? Really? Okay. I need darker purple. Alright, guys. Hi, Petra. Hello. We got 30 minutes on the clock. Happy sprinting, everybody. Go. Get down. Go on. Go on. Damn. Alright. How did that go for you guys? Just a little bit while we chat. Started Red Rising today. I am nervous. Ooh, nice. Oh, Xena was here a little bit earlier. She normally... Don't start. Don't start. Xena. Xena. Xena! Seriously? Speak of the devil. Normally if I like haven't spent time with her all day, like if I'm stuck in the office working, then she like is obsessed with attention. But she got plenty of attention today, so she may or may not pop on over. Right now, Glitch is trying to leave the room. Anytime Glitch walks by Xena, Xena thinks it's like attack mode. Like, I will pounce on you and demolish you. So, Glitch was trying to like slowly crawl out of the room and Xena's just staring at her. So, 7% into something in the walls. 19% through King's Cage. I don't know where I am. The first portion of this book is journal entries, and I'm not going to say more than that because I don't want to spoil anything. This is the collection of novellas, the most recent collection of novellas for Red Queen. During mid-spurt, so I didn't get much done. That's okay. That is totally fine. This is our de-stressing time. 54% through the bartender, and it's really good, and I'm not sure where it's going. Those are the best. I hate it when I can predict a book. Like, I don't want to be able to guess. If I can guess where the book is going, in my opinion, it's not a good book. Like, that's also why I don't like tropes. I'm like, I don't want to know what happens. I want to go in this. Like, sure, I want to know the premise of it. I want you to pitch me the plot. But I don't want to know what's going on. I want to put these mystery tabs to good use. Oh my gosh. I know I don't have a cat hair in my eye. It just feels like I have like an eyelash that does not want to cooperate. Done? Done. Done? I think that's good. I think we're good. Anyways, what other books do we have in store? Oh, I need to do here. Let's see. Reading list. Okay, Broken Blade. Broken Throne, not Broken Blade. This is the second Broken something I'm reading. I'm on page... Do we have page numbers? We do. 31 out of what? I feel like this is going to be bigger than... Ooh! Oh! What?! Okay, so I knew this was a first edition, Barnes & Noble first edition of Broken Throne. But I got this in a used bookstore. And again, it's one of those where it's like, I don't spend a ton of money on them. This is in really great condition. I was like, that's fine. There's a family tree. I got a whole freaking family tree. And even, what is this? Whoa, a whole character breakdown for Cal and Maven. Date of birth, eye color, hair color, interests, dislikes, hobbies, special... This is awesome! Okay, that's a fun nugget. I need to read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, yes. The Goodreads new logo. What's hilarious is everyone's begging Goodreads for an update, and all they did was change the font, which I'm like, nobody asked for that, and it actually looks worse, but whatever. 468. Okay, so it's not that big. This is just a really... These books look huge, but they're really just thick paper. Thick paper and bigger font. Well, yeah. Yeah, I should finish this a lot faster than what I thought. Yeah, somebody posted about the Goodreads logo, and it's like... I don't know what their thought process was. I don't know who was like, hey guys, rebrand. Why? Finished the book I was reading and started the next one in the series. Isabel, which book was that? It does look worse. Yes. I didn't notice it because I just like tap on, like I see the icon color and I just don't even look at it, but I saw it on the TikTok page and I was like, wait, what? I need Goodreads to get a lot better. I love Storygraph. Like, I love the charts and the stats in Storygraph as long as you update it accurately. So like every single day I try to read to keep up my Storygraph streak, and I put exactly what I'm reading because then it breaks down how fast I read certain books, the pace of reading with certain books. So I love that information. So I only have a Goodreads so that when I go to the store I can click on my books I own shelf and double check that I already have that book or see if I'm missing something in a series. Because it's posting my book reaction to Facebook after an author sent me an autographed copy of his book. Oh, nice! And I still like before, so don't use Goodreads anymore, really. Yeah, so like on my Excel sheet, I'm marking which books if I mark it as owned on Storygraph, I'm highlighting it on my Excel sheet because it's a lot of books to kind of transfer over, and you can't do the transfer from Goodreads to Storygraph a second time. You can only do it in the beginning, or you can only do it once. And sometimes it doesn't transfer over accurately, depending on whether or not they have that specific ISBN. I'm a data person. I love data. So I'm slowly integrating everything into Storygraph, and I rely more on Storygraph for like my accurate reading stats. But ultimately it comes down to my Excel sheet. Like there was one book, I listened to half of it and I read half of it. And I haven't been able to find anywhere where I can track listening hours and reading hours, so it's just all on my Excel sheet. Can't figure out how to use Fable, confuses me. Fable, I just forgot to update it. I am behind on Fable. I will say that I do get more reactions to my reviews when I did use Fable. And I do like the prompts, because from my understanding now the prompts aren't AI. They're actually written out, and like the algorithm will decide which prompt you get. Not prompt, kind of like reading summary. From my understanding, they are no longer doing AI. That might have changed because again, I have not been tracking Fable in a while. I just keep forgetting to like update that. Because what I hate is Goodreads and Storygraph and my Excel sheet, I can update all of those on my computer. Fable, I have to update it on the app. And it's annoying because then I have to I copy and paste my reviews. And it's just, it's a lot more tedious to update my book reviews on the app. I hate typing. For those who don't know, the only reason I ever did reading sprints on live, the only thing that pushed me to do reading sprints is that I hate typing on my phone with a passion. I can't stand it. So when I would do reading sprints and I would have to type out what I was thinking, it annoyed me. And I was like, I can't wait till I get enough followers to not do this anymore. I hate typing. This is before I discovered you can get on TikTok live on your computer. By the way, for those who don't know, you can sign on to TikTok on your computer, on the web browser, see the live, and you can type. So for those who don't know, there's that. But I am also live on YouTube if you want to jump over to YouTube. But yeah, so Fable was just I love the summary, I love the colors, I love the interactions. I hate inputting the reviews. That's the only annoyance. Thanks for the tiny hot dogs. They're so cute. Hello, Caitlin. Hi, welcome in. It is a somewhat chill night. You better not be. Where did you lay down? Where did you go? Xena just keeps jumping on and off, and I don't know what she's doing. Anyways. So yeah, this book, I am currently reading it faster than what I thought. I'm already at 7%. So, the Red Queen series, They go faster than you think, just because of the thickness in paper. This is amazing, though. Dang, if you guys ever get if you like the Red Queen series, definitely get Broken Throne Barnes & Noble edition. I don't know if this is... Did I bend this wrong? How did I do that? Hang on. I did. Okay, so you're like that. I liked Warstorm. Yeah, it was... I'm trying to think of like, the hardest part that I have in series is separating the books. But yeah, it was very complex. I definitely liked Warstorm for its relatability to our current times. Had a lot of really good quotes in there. You have a monarchy being introduced to a monarch. A monarchy is visiting a foreign nation, and it's their first time witnessing democracy, and it's just like, oh, this is interesting. So it's I'm making it sound boring, but there's just little nuggets in there that I appreciated. It's not boring. It's really cool. There. All right. We got another 30 minutes on the clock, ladies and gents. Happy sprinting. that go for you guys? I can tell you that for me, I made an unfortunate discovery on that sprint. Because you see, everything I read online did not tell me that the 2 novellas in this book that I read right after Red Queen are already in this book. So I was like, wow, this sounds very familiar. This sounds very familiar. Sure enough, now there are, I think, 2 more novellas, and there's like a whole bunch of like notes and goodies and stuff. Like there's a bunch of stuff inside that is still really good, but this entire like section right here and this entire section right here, I've already read that. So I just went from like page 1 to page 191 in a heartbeat. So yeah, that's fan. And it's like, I'm reading this really fast. But I think I'm gonna move these tabs over to this book at some point. I'm not gonna do it tonight, but I think I'd rather this book be tabbed. Still cool to keep the collection, but dang, that was... You don't need this. You don't need this. Nah. Started Bookshops and Bone Dust. I love Bookshops and Bone Dust. I have not read Crescent City. Yeah, Red Rising. Okay, Red Rising is what I call a 50-50. You're either gonna hate it or you're gonna love it. When my book club read it, half of us wanted to DNF it. The other half, it was like 6-star read. I almost DNF'd it just because of the writing style. It was very short, to the point, abrupt. It was hard to follow because I wasn't accustomed to that writing style. In book 2, he uses commas, and it was a lot more understandable for me. I was encouraged to keep on going and make my decision on book 2 since the writing style was different and the story really picks up. Book 1, I don't know if I wasn't in the right mindset. Like, I feel like I have to give Red Rising, honestly, another go and see how I feel, but when I was reading it at the time, I couldn't follow it. Once I read the entire book thinking I felt similar, only to finish and realized I had read it before. Yeah, I was just like, I'm kind of bummed, but I'm not. Honestly, the only thing that bums me is the tabbing. That's it. Like, and it's not that many tabs. I mean, it's only this amount of tabs that I have to move over to here, which is not an issue. If anything, my next book to read, I want to knock out Demon in the Wood so that I can say I read the entire Shadow and Bone universe. So Demon in the Wood, I want to finish that. I can do that in like a day because it's a graphic novel. And then I can jump right into Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. So that's not a bad thing. I just knocked out 200 pages that I don't have to focus on anymore. I DNF'd it previously and I'm enjoying it a lot more this time around. Yes. Yeah. Red Rising, like I said, I think next time I do it, I might check out. I heard the audiobook was really good. So I might do book 1, like, immersive read. But, so here's the thing. When I read Red Rising, I think I had just finished Scythe. And it was the first time I was really absorbing the theme and the message of the book rather than just enjoying the story. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think my mindset was in the right mode for Red Rising. I think if you're just reading a book just for the fun of it, I don't know. That's hard to explain too. With my mindset, I think I'm at a better place to give it another go this year. I won't because I have too many books to read, but if it gets closer to Red God, I'll reassess what I want to do with Red Rising. Yeah, a lot of people absolutely love it. I couldn't get into it. Like, I enjoyed books in it, yes. Like, Morningstar was one of the worst character unalives. No spoilers to anybody. Anybody that drops a spoiler will be muted. Had one of the worst character unalives. Like, I got so mad. Dark Age is the darkest book I hope to ever read in my entire life. Because that was not needed. Iron Gold taught me that Pierce Brown doesn't care how old you are, what gender you are, what demographic you are. He doesn't care. Golden Sun taught me to not like any characters because Pierce Brown will find out and he will take them away. So don't like anybody. If you've never read Red Rising, just do not like any of the characters. Don't do it. Morningstar, I almost threw the book, but I was live. I was live, so I couldn't throw the book, but I almost threw the book. Yeah, that was horrible. That was... But yeah, Red Rising, everybody, you should read it. It's great. But I have character deaths that have made me livid. Yeah. Pierce Brown excels at that. Yeah, he will find out. He will take them away. He will. Every single time I'm like, oh, one of my favorite, I think it might have been Iron Gold. It was either Iron Gold, or maybe it was the beginning of Golden Sun. I don't know. It was the beginning of one of the books. And I met a character, and I'm like, this person sounds awesome. And like, halfway into the chapter, I was like, oh, this person sounds awesome. Gone. I'm afraid to read any of his books. It's intense. I almost threw it off my balcony, but I had to keep reading, so I didn't. I was mad through every page of Allegiant. Allegiant from the Divergent series. I haven't read that series yet. Let's start Throne of Glass or Sunrise on the Reaping. I would say Sunrise on the Reaping, because then you build a whole new level of Team Haymitch. A bigger level of Team Haymitch. Like, after you read Sunrise on the Reaping, when you go back to Hunger Games, you want him to have all the alcohol he wants, sleep until whatever time you just do you, Haymitch. We are no longer mad at you. We're mad at Katniss for what she's saying to you. How dare she not understand your origin? Hated Allegiant, loved Divergent, wanted to burn Allegiant. I haven't read it yet. I'll have to see. Just finished Sunrise on the Reaping last night and can't stop thinking about my Haymitch. I know. And then what I absolutely love is if you read, hey Book Lounge, if you read Songbird of Ballad and Snakes, which you need to read that one first. So if you finish reading Hunger Games, read Ballad of Songbird and Snakes. I'm getting confused. Read that one first, then read Sunrise on the Reaping. Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, I was worried going into it that she was going to try and make me be, I guess, like, understanding towards Snow, or, like, I don't know, I was afraid that she was going to be like, oh, well, kind of like giving him a chance. He's a villain, but, like, falling in love with the villain kind of story. And it wasn't. It was just very much like, here's a deeper understanding into a psychopathic brain. And I'm like, wow, I still don't like him, and that was a good book. I think that was a new experience for me, and I appreciated that in the series. I got a deeper understanding of Snow without liking him or forgiving him for his actions. Like, it was great. And then you go into Sunrise on the Reaping, and because of what you just finished reading on Snow, that's where, like, the better understanding happens. Yeah, he is not morally gray. He's not. And that's the thing is, right now, there's an influx of books in the industry that are like, he's the villain, he's the bad guy. And I was like, I don't want to like him. Especially, I'm just going to say it, in this administration, I did not want to like the evil dictator in a book series. I didn't want to have any reason to like him. And my friends are like, no, especially because you like reading books that are more political and realistic. You're going to enjoy Ballad of Songbirds. I'm like, okay, and it was great. It was great. I still like Sunrise on the Reaping even more. Cause, hey, Mitch. Poor Bubba. Nervous to read it. Hate him being sad. Hang on. Wait. Which book? Oh, yeah, Sunrise. So you're not sad. Okay, I lied. But you just appreciate Haymitch so much more, and you appreciate Haymitch so much more. And you know what? For everything Haymitch has been through, the least you can do is read his book. That's where I stand. Ooh, what is in my eye? Oh my goodness. Something is in my eyeball. I know it. My next 5 books are About in Sunrise and finishing the Aragon series. Yes, Regina. Man, you're hitting up a millennial stronghold there. All you gotta do is add Twilight to that list, Regina, and you got a strong trifecta. So many things he does and says in the first books differently. Exactly! That's what I'm saying. Like, at the beginning of Hunger Games, you're like, here, take all the alcohol bottles you want. Here's sleep until the end of the, like, sleep for eternity. Like, you deserve it. So you're just like, hey, Mitch. Hello. All right. Cool. All right, jumping back into the book that I've already somewhat read. 30 minutes on the clock, everybody. Happy sprinting. ride that sprint, goo. Everyone hydrate. I gotta get some more water at the start of the next sprint. Page 284 of Addie LaRue. Where's my Addie LaRue? Oh, there it is. I fell asleep. That is entirely forgiven, and that is totally acceptable. If you want to nap and be woken up in 30-minute intervals, we can arrange that. I barely read anything. My kids keep coming down from the bed. 275 of Rose and Chains. Thanks for the tiny dinies. 17% into Red Rising. How are you liking it? Because you were at 5% earlier, weren't you? Didn't go. I'm cuddling with cats. I haven't seen them in 3 days. I know the feeling. Oh, I know the feeling. You get home from a trip and it's like nothing else exists but the kitties. Little cats. I don't know where mine. I think Oliver is. Yeah, Oliver. Oh, and Glitch. Hi. Oliver and Glitch are both snuggled up on the floor behind my chair. Xena. 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 Yeah, I don't know where she is. But a lot of my books are unwrapped. So I'm trying to keep my unwrapped books towards the center. And I have been reading a lot. Like I am proud of the amount of books I've been able to unwrap. This month alone, I think this month is going to break the record of how many books I've read, because last week I was hustling to finish the Glacian trilogy. So I was like adamantly like taking hours to read. But I'm also back to listening to more audiobooks while I'm working. Whereas before, I kind of put a pause on audiobooks for the longest time. So I'm unwrapping at a much faster rate, which is fantastic. I love looking at my shelves and being like, I read, you guys. Still not reading fast enough to like unwrap a bunch of books, but I'm okay with that because I am absorbing all the important information and fantastic stories. I will be doing, I finally got my Pango set up, but I need to now start adding books and figuring out how to sell. Like I'm unhauling books, and I have a whole pile of them that I'm unhauling, but I think there's some that are even wrapped that I'm looking through my list and I'm like, I'm not gonna read you. I know it. Like there's no point in keeping y'all. You're not gonna be read. So hopefully by next week I'll have like a whole Pango set up. I'm thinking about just doing like Facebook Marketplace first and doing local first, just to kind of like get rid of as many books as I can face to face and not deal with the shipping. But we shall see. We shall see, because I also don't want, like, I'm hardly ever on my personal Facebook, and then the only ones that, like, all my friends are like, you have all these books? Yes, I do. Shush. I have a shelf of books I don't plan on reading. Exactly, like, I have a lot of books that I'm like, I either found them super, super cheap, and I know they're worth so much more. Like, for example, I'm not selling this one, but I have a Red Rising, is it Illumicrate? Let me see. Like, if you look up this book in itself, it's Red Rising, right? This is part of a set. I think it was sold as a set. Doesn't have a cover on it. Fairy Loot Special Edition. Signed by Pierce Brown. I found it for $15. So there's a lot of... If you look this book up on eBay, this is not a $15 book. I found an Aragon book, a 10th year anniversary collector's edition, which they only made like 1,000 and they have not done any reprints. I found it for $36, and the cheapest I could find it on eBay was $350. So there's a few solid finds that I am really wanting to put on Pango. Probably eBay, but I feel like Pango makes it really easy to ship from what I've been reading. So I'm kind of hoping. I'm just scared of the shipping. Just being honest, I'm scared of the shipping. So, also, I do have a lot of books that are duplicates. So, for example, Neil Shusterman's All Better Now, I have the US edition and the UK edition. The same with Dragon Rider. The same with, I have a few books that are like duplicates, and I'm like, if I'm reading one book and it has a duplicate, I'm unwrapping all of them. So I'm thinking about tackling some duplicates so I can unwrap more books. Pango is super easy with shipping. Cool, because I have saved boxes, shipping boxes, for like months. And I have a ton of them, and packaging. I'll get bubble wrap. Like, I just want to watch more videos on how to ship books, because I'm not gonna do the fancy book wrapping. I'm just gonna, you know, people buy the books, I'm gonna send them the books, but I am gonna send them with the utmost care. I want them to get exactly what I'm sending, no dings or dents, unless it's already on there. Half price Twigs in my state. I want anniversary copy of Aragon so bad. The thing is, Sid, it really comes down to the people who are putting the price tags on. If they know about the book and they look on eBay, they would have changed the price, or they would have put it in the collector's shelf. The 10th anniversary Aragon book, when you type the ISBN number into anything online, Goodreads, Storygraph, whatever, the ISBN number is the exact same as a regular paperback or hardcover Aragon ISBN. So when they type it into the system, their system tells them, oh, that book is worth $8. And so what they do at Half Price Books is they mark it up to a certain amount. I don't know what the markup is. My assumption that $36 is probably they put like a percentage boost because it's a fancier book. So they did it based on what their system told them, but had they gone online to eBay, they would have seen exactly the value of that book. So that's why you find a lot of golden nuggets at used bookstores, thrift stores, half-price books, because a lot of times the people who are taking these books in have no idea what they have. So like the Pierce Brown, the Red Rising Special Edition, whoever got that one had no idea what they had. There was a row of Iron Flame, first edition Iron Flame, but I saw one that was with sprayed edges. And I was like, if I buy the first edition sprayed edge, I can sell it a year later for a little bit more money, and so I have some like first edition books that I'm kind of like waiting for the value to go up. But the book that I picked out, I just, you know, I opened the books to just make sure they're like in good condition. This book was marked for like $12, like the same as the other books in the used bookstore, except this specific one was signed by Rebecca Yarros. So I have a first edition Iron Flame signed by that one's in my personal shelf. That's Pango. So if you type Pango Books, I think .com, Pango Books is a website where people sell their used books. So if you go to Pango, like, you can find, I love buying used books used. The only time I buy books brand new is if it's like limited edition, sprayed edge, or I want to support the author. But if you go to Pango, like a lot of people like me, we have a ton of books that we're just gonna get rid of, and we put it up on Pango Books, and you can search for specific books, specific editions. It's kind of like the eBay for used books. If there's just, I feel like there's a slightly bigger selection, and the shipping situation is a lot friendlier. And sometimes, like on eBay, I like using thrift books, secondhand books, and I forget what the other vendor is, but they always do like book sales for used books. But on Pango, I like that people are uploading more photos of all the different angles of their books, so I know exactly what I'm getting, whereas on eBay, they usually only show you the cover. And especially on secondhand books and thrift books, I've gotten some books that are like very good condition, and it's like a library sticker on it. So one of the AK first edition Aragons at the garage sale. Dude, every time I get on Pango, eBay, any used book site, the first thing I look for is the Aragon first edition. Because Emma Skies was talking about it in one of her videos, and someone's like, hey, I think I found the book you're talking about. And she bought it from someone for $3 because they had no idea what they had. And I didn't, like, I wish I would have. So, like, every single time I go to a used bookstore, the first thing I do is look for the Aragon first edition copy. That's literally the first thing I look for. Textbooks, you can look and see. I don't think textbooks sell, but you can look and see. The downside of textbooks is that a lot of schools are changing the edition every year, and the edition changes literally like one word or one sentence, but it changes the ISBN number. It's textbook situation is stupid. I 100%. It's horrible. We'll do 2 more sprints. It'll go slightly past the time, but I'm okay with that. I started late. Yeah, Emma Sky's got that book for, yeah, the cheapest I have seen, the first edition Aragon, is on eBay for like $790. Somebody sold it on Pango Books for $3 and had no idea what they had. Oh, EPCC? Yeah, so community colleges especially, they are most known for having their specific edition. So like EPCC edition, whatever number. So yeah, selling textbooks, you're probably going to have better luck selling it face-to-face in El Paso. You're not going to... Pango Books is not going to be your go-to. You're probably going to have better luck posting it like on Facebook Marketplace for EPCC. Feeling really good. Every little library. Ooh, dude, Sid. So the first edition, he did a whole tour when he first released it in the Galveston, Houston area. So that's where you'll strike gold. All right, guys, 30 minutes on the clock. Happy sprinting. I'm gonna get some water. like a hair that doesn't know what it wants to do. Stop it. There we go. Whew, how did that go? There's one character in here that I'm like, I feel like I've read you in the series before. But I'm also afraid to like look up her name because then I'm not done with that short story yet. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I remember reading your name, but I'm not sure if I'm confusing this series with a different series, so. Well, just got home from book club. Next week I'm going to 2 book clubs, I realized. At least one of them I've already read the book. My local book club is doing 1984. So that's fantastic. That's going to be some great discussions on that one. And then I'm going to a brand new local book club that's doing Burying Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Have about 100 pages left. Page 288, and my jaw is on the floor. That's a good book. That's always a good book. That's a good place to be. 13% into the book. Hello, Anissa. Anissa. You tell me how to pronounce, or I will have fun with a gorgeous name. I just found a DFW bookstore crawl. I saw that, and I don't think I should do that, because that is. I'm the kind of person that's like, I should support the bookstore. Let me buy a book from here. But that's a lot of bookstores. Bury Our Bones was so good. I've heard, and I am excited. Just started it. I'll start it as soon as I finish this one. I might do Demon in the Wood first, because I don't need to finish Bury Our Bones until next week. So I might do Demon in the Wood just for like a short little break, finish off Shadow and Bone series entirely, mark that off my list, and then jump into it. By this weekend, I'll be reading it for sure. Second one, Anissa. Okay. I think that's what I said secondly. Got a good chunk done, but I'm tired. 22%. Valid, Nicole. We're usually done close to now, but I'm gonna do one last sprint because I was late. When is the 1984? My local book club is doing 1984, not this week, but next week on Friday. And I've already read that book, but we'll be discussing it then. I'm struggling trying to find a book. Booklight. And the fight with the bookmark attached, I hate it. I just have like the basic. The only thing I don't necessarily like too much about mine. Well, I can't really complain. Like, these are good for hardcover books, which I do have a lot of hardcover books. You kind of attach this part to the hardcover part. So it works great for hardcover books. And then this portion up here angles, it pivots up or down. The only thing I don't like is if you're reading a paperback book, you probably want to grab a few pages along with the cover. That way it doesn't damage the cover. But also, you gotta remember to take it off when you close the book, because if not, like, it's not damaging it, but it's kind of stretching the cover a little bit if you still have the cover on. But besides that, this one has a dying battery. I mean, I haven't charged it in a very long time. Oh, no, there you go. Has different levels of brightness, and then it also has warm light and blue light. So I like this one. I got this one off a TikTok shop. I've never made a video off of it. I just kind of got it. I made it to 83%. I missed my book club. They decided to end it. Oh no! Only lights one side. So annoying. Yeah, this one is attached to one side, but it pivots. So I need the pivoting part for sure. General Fantasy About 3 was just trying to break generational curses. Oh, nice. Curses. Why did I say curses? Oh my gosh. Have that same one. The USB has gotten loose. Oh no. Mine is it's easy to charge, and it holds the charge for a very, very, very long time. It might. This book light might be on my TikTok shop. What's it called? Where you go to someone's profile and you click on their like shopping thing and it's like items that we recommend. I don't know what that's called. It might be on there, but I bought it. This wasn't a free sample. This wasn't a partnership. Like, I bought this one. So I don't remember if I went and I added it to my list. So it might be there. If not, message me and I'll put it into the list so you can see which one I have exactly. It's probably the best one that I've used in a while. And if I remember correctly, I've had that one for a very long time, but I'm pretty sure I got it cheap. 25% into King's Cage. Nice. Peyton, did you read any of the novellas for Red Queen? If anybody's reading Red Queen, did you guys read any of the novellas? Because I do recommend reading. There's 2 novellas. Either read this right after Red Queen, or read the first 2 novellas right after Red Queen, because this is actually inside of here. But I highly recommend it because you get, oh no, stop it. You get more insight into some of the details that are happening for the rest of the series. Have the same book light, I love it. Yeah, I rarely use it because I fall asleep so easy when it's dark. Like, I have a drink caffeine when I'm reading with you guys, but I haven't yet, but I plan on getting them. I recommend it. Let me see, King's Cage. I recommend reading the first 2 novellas. Like I said, either read this entire book or read the first 2 novellas of this one before getting into Warstorm. You just get a better understanding into Cal's mother, the backstory on that, and you get a better understanding of Farley. And at least with Cal's mother, there's a lot of, I think it's an important short story to read before you get into Warstorm, because they make references to some of her journals and you don't know about that until you read the short stories. I might put the bigger one, it might be in. I mean, I honestly get this. This is in here, but this has way more bonus material. Only thing, like I said, only read the first 2. There's 4 novellas in here. Only read the first 2 novellas. Then go back to the series and then read the last 2 novellas. So the only difference between these 2 is that she added 2 more novellas to round off the entire series, but the first 2 are in here, so it's worth it. Now, I don't know, look at the difference. I have the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I don't know what the difference is. I'm kind of hoping this is the only difference. They have like a really cool like family tree and details for Maven and Cal. But they also have, at least in my book, they have a bunch of like notes and references from Julius. Like, he's doing his own investigating into like the history of the Reds and things like that. Like, there's even, I don't know if you guys knew, I don't know if you guys realized, if you looked at so novellas are short stories. I forget what the size is. I think novellas are less than 300 pages, if I'm not mistaken. But essentially, you have the Red Queen series, which is made of 4 books. Red Queen, Glass Sword, King's Change, Warstorm. Like, those are the 4 books. But the author also released like kind of little mini books to go in between the series. And they give a little bit more insight into the entire series in general, the entire story. And they're not mandatory to read, but you understand so much more of what's going on in the series if you read these novellas. So normally the authors will release a novella like individually, whether it's an ebook or a smaller book. But sometimes they'll do, this is actually very popular, they'll combine all of their novellas into one book, which is what she did. Same thing with Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. He did Skyward Flight. Neil Shusterman never released the short stories individually, but he made gleanings. So I wish novellas were more well known. Like, people are like, oh, it's a novella, I don't have to read it. In some instances, like Skyward, the book is called Skyward Flight that has the novellas. Mandatory. There's so much information that you can't, I don't understand how it's even in a novella format, because it's literally continuations of stories, and you don't get a backstory reference. You just you're expected to know these things. But anyways, let's think about this. Oh, so if you're reading Red Queen, I don't know if you've looked at the maps to realize that yes, Like, those lakes look familiar, right? These lakes up here look very, very familiar. Well, Julian is doing his historical research. This is not a spoiler. He's doing his historical research and discovering what the land used to look like thousands of years before their current lifestyle. So this takes place, like, of course, thousands of years ahead of our time, even though it reads almost like it takes place in the past. It's so interesting. But yeah, so I don't know if the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, like, I don't know if that's the only one that has all of that content, or if any edition of the book has that content and the Barnes & Noble just has the fold-out page. Yeah, Nisa, when I first started on Book Talk, I had no idea what novellas were. I didn't know what tropes meant. I didn't know, what's another one that I didn't know? There was so many things that I was learning. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Thank goodness for Julian. Julian is I love him, man. As much as I love history and just digging into, like, the details of things, like, he's like, oh, there was another one where they're like, but there was no record found, and then, like, in the margins he wrote, sounds like a challenge, and I'm like, yeah, my guy. Dig into those stories. Alright, this will be the last sprint of the night, everybody. Last sprint. Stay hydrated. Make it count. That's a good stopping point. Awesome. I was expecting to read like 120 pages or something, and as luck would have it, I've heard you read the first half of the book. So there you have it. If you're considering reading Red Queen, you do not need to get Cruel Crown, because Cruel Crown is included in Broken Throne. I think I'll have to make a video eventually. I'll have to double check online, but I think I'll make a video on the recommended reading order of Red Queen, because again, I read the first 2 novellas after Red Queen, then I read the rest of the series, and now I'm reading the last 2 novellas at the end of the series. So I think I'll double check online, but I think that is the recommended reading order. Yeah. Alright, we went slightly past our regular time because I started slightly past our regular time, and I apologize for that. But thank you guys so much for popping in, for joining me in this nice night of reading. Tomorrow, same time, same place. 6:30 p.m. Central is what I am hoping to do. If you are on YouTube, I will post on TikTok if anything is delayed like today was, or what my schedule looks like. So if you want to follow me there, that'd be fantastic. If you don't have a TikTok, I know, I get you. I gotta figure out how to update YouTube more often with that stuff. But that being said, YouTube, I will start with you. I will go ahead and say goodnight to you guys. Thank you for popping in. If you're almost done with your books, please finish them. You can also rewatch all of my Reading Sprint lives. If you go to my profile, click the live tab, you can see the Reading Sprint. So if I'm ever not available, you guys can click on an old one and just pretend that I'm talking to you. It's not weird at all. But I'll say night to you